What's up guys, my name is Darren Jackson. Welcome back to the channel, and I have a question for you guys, something that's kind of been going on in my head for the past couple of days. And that question is, was investing in Metamaterials a bad idea? Now, I've been thinking about that question yet again for the past week or so, and on a side note guys, I apologize for not having a video out for a little while. I was in the middle of moving, as you can see, and then my allergies kicked in because dust. So that kind of took me out for a minute, so I do apologize, and I appreciate you guys are back to watch yet another video after a decent period of time. But during that time, I've been keeping up with a lot of news in regards to Metamaterials and a lot of people's feedback, and a lot of it isn't good, and it got me thinking. And one of the things that I read over that course of time was an article by Investor Place that basically was titled, "Don't Fall for the Hype on Metamaterials." And I decided to read that to get a lot of people's opinions, and it definitely uncovered a bit of things that people may be thinking or feeling in regards to holding on to this stock. So hopefully by the end of this video, we can use some of the information from that article to talk about reasons why people may think that this company was a bad investment. And then I'll give you guys some of my personal opinions. And if you've watched some of the recent videos, you may kind of have an idea of where I stand, but we'll go over that again. So let's get started. So the article on Investor Place talked about a lot of things, but the one thing that resonated with me the most had to do with, I guess, stock manipulation in a manner. Not really stock manipulation as far as hedge funds doing something on one end to make the stock market do what they want to do, and then we're all just surprised, but more so things and news that come out to make us really excited for 1 minute, and then it seems like nothing really happens, or there's not much of a follow-up to support that hype, and then the price goes down. And there were a couple of things that I feel like kind of sort of cause that. One that looks like has a lot of potential, and one that's just a flat-out rumor and something we've talked about a lot. Now, the first one was the GlucoWise. Now, if you guys don't know what the GlucoWise is, I have plenty of videos that I can link in the comments below that go into detail of what that is. But GlucoWise is basically their way of being able to measure people's glucose levels that are suffering with diabetes. But the catch is it was going to be just as efficient, a lot faster, and a lot less painful. So off the gate, it seems pretty cool. Now, I believe at the beginning of July, they released an article saying that after 27 months working with companies from the United Kingdom, that their GlucoWise project was finally complete. And that caused the price to soar for a lot of great reasons. But soon after, the price went back down, and it seems like, or at least according to the article, the reasons why the price went back down is because even though, yes, the project was complete and it is a great step in the right direction, there's still a lot of regulations that need to be approved by the actual product, and then it has to be accepted by different companies so they can actually make a profit off of it. So due to that, and I guess kind of sort of lack of patience, the price went back down, which is fairly understandable. The other reason is basically one big rumor. If we talked about it so much, it obviously has a lot to do with Metamaterials and Elon Musk with Tesla. And the whole rumor is that Metamaterials is working with Tesla. Now, if you want my personal opinion on that, I'm pretty sure I have at least a couple of videos that go into detail with that. I personally think that it is very possible that they could work together, not just because of the fact that they share an address, which is kind of sort of how the rumor started, because George Palacaris announced that, hey, we have an address in Nova Scotia, and so does Tesla, and it happens to be the same. By the way, I sort of debunked that as a piece of evidence that they're working together, because I announced that they're both working and being supported by a capitalist type company called Novacorp that pretty much supports technology-based companies in Canada, and Tesla opened a battery center in Canada in this huge building, and Metamaterials had their headquarters at the time in that same building. Doesn't mean they didn't have opportunity to communicate. Again, make sure you watch those other videos so you can get more of a detail on that. But point is, this was all one big rumor, and there is nothing officially announced yet. There could be something announced later, but at the moment, it's just one big rumor. So prior to the Verse merger, back when Metamaterials was MMATF and TRCH for Torchlight, that's around the time when these rumors with Metamaterials and Tesla having a potential partnership started, and the price jumped up to, I believe, 10 to a little over $10 a share, again, pre-reverse merger. But once the dust kind of settled, and everything we were hearing right after that was just a little bit of rumor after a little bit of rumor, then the price obviously went back down. And that's elaborated a bit in that article by Investor Place. And the ultimate point of that article is that not a lot is known about the company. Yes, they have products and it's all circulated around this nanoweb technology, which if it's able to be mass produced like they're saying it is, then yes, that can result in a lot of partnerships and overall a lot of money for them and then ultimately for us, which is great. But in the meantime, they're still working on gaining the experience of producing nanoweb technology and being able to mass produce that so they can actually gain the trust from other companies to create those partnerships. And obviously a lot of other companies, especially in the technology sector when they're starting out, are probably gonna have the same thing happen when they're just getting used to making their products on a massive scale to appease whatever crowd they're trying to appease. And during that time being, when little to no news isn't really announced or news that is really hyped isn't announced, the price is probably gonna go down a little bit, and that's kind of where we're at right now. And because of that, there's a lot of people that are upset, which is fairly so. And I've been able to have a lot of conversations with you guys over the past couple of months of making these videos to get more of an idea of why people are so upset about Metamaterials, even to the point of calling Metamaterials a scam, which, by the way, I made a video about that, so make sure you check it out if you're interested as well. And that led me to believe that there were two different types of investors when it came to Metamaterials. Now, you can call me naive in advance because you can probably say something similar to this for other different stocks, especially when they started off, but this is just my conclusion. So you had your short-term investors, not necessarily short-term investors, but more so, I want a lot of money right now, but I'll probably still hold on to Metamaterials afterwards investors. That's because of two reasons. For starters, you got this dividend. So back when Metamaterials and Torchlight were two separate companies, they announced this Class A preferred stock dividend that will be given out to all investors of Torchlight based off the asset worth of Torchlight's oil and gas properties. Keep in mind, guys, they still have to the end of this year to actually do that. And if they don't sell it by the end of this year, then apparently a spin-off company or something relative to that happens. If you guys are interested in more details, let me know and I can definitely look into that and make a follow-up video, but that's basically what happens. The other thing is this short squeeze, and I've talked about the short squeeze aspect so many times. I really don't focus on that too much because I'll be honest with you, there's a lot about that information, including the T2, T3, T27, T1000 from Terminator, all that stuff that I understand to a certain degree, and there's a lot more YouTubers that are investors that understand this a lot more than I do, so I would refer you to them. I more so talk about the long-term relative stuff. The point is the amount of shares of Torchlight or now Metamaterials that were shorted, meaning they were betting that the company was going to do bad, was significantly high enough for it to be considered a pessimistic stock. So if people start investing into it, then they would force hedge funds to end their positions by buying more into it. And because of other news, you would see ideally a ridiculous increase in price. It happened to other companies like AMC and GameStop and I think BlackBerry. And that's kind of what we were waiting on. We were expecting it to happen on this date and then this date and then this date. And when it didn't happen, people started selling off. And that's where a lot of people also showed how angry they were because the majority of those investors invested at the top. And of course, you don't know that you're investing at the top until the price goes down. So it's kind of hard to make fun of those people because I could have easily done the same thing. You could have easily done the same thing. You probably did the same thing, but who knows? The point is that's one category of investors in this company. The other category are the people that are investing into it for the long term, expecting the price to go up a significant amount over the next year to 5 years because of their products being majorly disruptive within the industry, which is a fair point because one of the products that they have that does that is the glucose web. You can consider it being in a majorly disruptive sector because it blurs the line between technology and biology, being something that's used as a biological measurement, but it's a technological product. The two work hand in hand. If it succeeds, that could potentially happen. Now, overall, obviously the question that I asked earlier was if Metamaterials is a bad investment. And again, I've been thinking about this over the past week or so, watching videos by other YouTubers and reading articles such as the one I've been talking about. And if somebody actually asked me that question directly, then my answer would have to be no, at least at this time being. Again, I'm a long-term investor. I am seeing this company for what they have and what that could potentially mean for the future. And we all know that investing in general is a risk. You could put your money in a company and the next day that company could go bankrupt and you could lose it all. So anything could happen. I also do keep an eye on the rumors that go on, like the rumors with Tesla, the rumors with Samsung, and any other rumors that go out there that could have some potential. Because at the end of the day, you could buy the rumor and sell the news. But if there's too much rumor going on and not enough news, then that makes people a lot more pessimistic, which is why I keep in mind of how much I'm investing and how often I'm investing into it. And that's just the complete honest truth. But I am still optimistic about this company for the long run. Again, that'd be great if something happens today and I look on my phone and the price has gone up to $100 a share. But this is something I'm really not trying to pay attention to as far as its movement on a daily basis, because I believe that within the next 3 to 5 years, this could be a potential great investment, because what the company has to offer and the products that they have to offer could be a major impact in different sectors such as aerospace and automotive, medicine, and even space potentially, who knows. So that's my optimistic and I guess probably naive aspect of Metamaterials, maybe according to some of you guys, but that's okay. But guys, let me know, what do you think about Metamaterials at this point? What's your answer if somebody asked you, do you think investing into it was a bad idea and why? Or if you think it's a good idea, please let me know why in the comments below. I definitely enjoy having these conversations with you guys, and I appreciate you guys watching this video after I haven't had a video over a week or so. I do apologize again. But speaking of videos, make sure you guys watch some of these other videos, which I hope help you guys on your investing journey as they have in mine. I do appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, take care.